Are you still looking for the super moist and fudgy chocolate cake? This is a quick and easy one bowl chocolate cake recipe which you are going to love if you give it a try. So let's see what all are the ingredients needed. Here I am using Dutch processed cocoa. So into a clean bowl, sift in 1.5 cups of plain flour and 2/3 cups of Dutch cocoa. You may use half cup cocoa powder too. Then into it we are adding in half teaspoon of baking powder, quarter teaspoon of baking soda and salt. So the quantity of the baking powder and the baking soda is very less in this cake because I usually don't prefer baking soda in my cakes. It makes the texture of the cake totally porous. So into a cup of milk, warm milk, I am adding in 1 tablespoon of vinegar to make it into buttermilk. Next I will powder the cane sugar. You may use normal sugar or brown sugar. Then half a block of butter, which is around 125 grams of butter, unsalted butter. It's at room temperature but it's not too melted. Then after I powder the cane sugar, I will add it into the butter and using a hand whisk I will mix it until it's fully incorporated. It takes around 2 minutes of mixing like this. You may use an electric beater. Then I am adding in 2 large eggs, one at a time. So first egg, then I will add in the vanilla extract and mix to combine, followed by the next egg. So it is very easy as you can use a hand whisk to prepare this wonderful moist and tasty chocolate cake. The secret to it is the buttermilk that we add into this recipe. Okay, so the next egg is we are going to incorporate the second egg very well. So once the egg is added, all the sugar will be melted into the butter. Now I am adding in the buttermilk. You may use store-bought buttermilk. It is very easy to prepare our own homemade buttermilk. So now once it is combined, I will add the dry flour and the cocoa mixture in 2 batches, and using the hand whisk I will mix in like this. So once you are not going to over mix, but you will just incorporate the dry mixture into the wet ingredients. As this cake is just perfectly sweet, we will be making a chocolate ganache to go on top of this cake. So after we have completely incorporated the dry ingredients, we will switch on to a spatula. In the meantime, you are preheating your oven at 180 degrees, and here I am using loaf tins, 2 loaf tins, 9-inch loaf tins. Okay, once the mixture is well combined, I am lining the bottom of the cake tin with parchment paper, and I will divide the batter equally between the 2 loaves. So it was around 500 grams each on 2 loaves. You may increase the sweetness of this cake by 2 more tablespoons if you are not doing the frosting on top. So that's the baking time. I have baked the cake for around 45 to 50 minutes. So after 30 minutes I will check the doneness of the cake by inserting a skewer, and since the cake was still wet in the middle, I have baked it for another 20 more minutes. So it took me around 50 minutes. So you have to check after 45 minutes whether it's done. So I will take it out and let the cake cool for around at least 1 hour before I apply the chocolate ganache on top. So if you are not applying the chocolate ganache, you can increase the sweetness of the cake. You can see how soft and moist and spongy the cake is. It's really very light, and you can reduce the cocoa powder by half a cup if you want to. Next I am preparing the ganache. Into a pan I am measuring out half cup of dairy whipping cream. It's not non-dairy, it is a dairy whipping cream with 38% fat. I am adding into the pan. I heated it until I saw bubbles on side, and then I added in 1 cup of dark chocolate chips and 10 grams of butter, which the camera was switched off, sorry for that. And I will mix with the spatula until the chocolate is fully melted, and apply this ganache on the cooled cake. and you actually have to let it set for around 1 hour. I didn't have the time to let it set, so I'm slicing the cake while the ganache is still warm. You can see how moist and spongy this cake is. Do try and let me know your feedbacks and comments, and if you have any doubts, just let me know in the comment section. Thank you and take care.